Attendez, parce que je me... Attendez, parce qu'il y a mon aide-soignant qui est pas... Est-ce que vous pouvez m'aider? Ouais, voilà. Parce que c'est de... Ah non,
visiblement, ça ne marche pas. Ah ouais. Père Patrick, vous n'avez pas perdu la main?
Est-ce que vous pouvez couper le... Ah!
On va regarder un sujet sur la...
I don't know how many years on this earth I got left. I'm gonna get real weird with it.
Hey there!
Don't judge me, this is art!
It looks like he may commit suicide. Suicide is badass.
Put a kick in it, make her gay!
What the fuck is that? Bigfoot. Oh man, look at him.
Come on, you motherfucker! Oh, shit! God damn it! Same shit, different day!
One last thing. If you have any drugs or any alcohol, give me some.
Back again to pollute the noise.
Hi, everybody.
Now, I've got a good many subscribers, mostly due to shorts, which, you know, I was riding high on that and just flatline. I mean, absolutely flatline. So, do me a favor, watch my videos. I don't care if you watch them in the background, watch them muted, but just fucking watch them, you know. I need the watch hours.
Yeah. We do need the watch hours.
Now, where I'm at, this is Monday night still. It might not be in your area. So this is Monday Night Live, I guess.
Yeah.
I thought someone asking people to show up for the stream, but I don't know. I mean, I just feel kind of funny doing that. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I don't know. I think a lot of people would like to be on the stream, you know? It's just, you know, we have to coordinate schedules and stuff, but
Yeah, have to be like, shut up, motherfucker, let me do this.
but yeah, I think a lot of people would like to be on the stream. You know,
I wouldn't say all that, but there may be some.
I mean, I know when we had Levistro on the stream, that was very enlightening. He knows his shit, you know?
Yeah, he likes to go off on tangents, but that's good for a live stream. You need a person that can keep it rolling, keep it going.
Yeah, I mean, I can go off on tangents too, but I try to be nice because when I go off on a tangent, I get kind of ugly with it, because if something makes me mad to that point, you know, I say stuff before I can help myself, and it's bad.
Well, you know something.
You are gay!
Yeah. And what's your point? What's your point?
Those gays, they got a way about them.
I'm not like most gays. I don't identify with the LGBTQ plus community. I think that community is shit.
So you're telling me it's kind of...
She ain't finna lick nothing over here, so I don't care if she is a lesbian. That's her business.
Yep. Yep, that's it.
Hey, you know, I've been waiting for Dax to show up. He hasn't shown up for the last couple of streams because I added a clip for him. You want to see it?
Yeah, let's see it. I think he would like it. I think Dax would like it.
You don't want to piss off a little rat like that.
I don't know. I think he'd get a kick out of it.
Okay, so there's always a lot going on in the news, you know, but I try to attempt to cover things that other people aren't covering. I don't always succeed because sometimes it's just the same old stale shit going around, like the stale old motherfucking Lisa Mercanti.
You know, I mistyped her name in the Tangent King chat, and I called her, and I hate to say it, but I called her Mercumti.
What, with a Y? That's not wrong.
No. Mercumty. Mercumty.
It still kind of fits.
I know, but it's awful.
What was it that I was the nickname I'd come up with?
Oh, I don't remember.
Anyway, it was only because, you know, word association.
Oh yeah, I know what it is now. Murky cunt. That's
Yeah,
what it was.
you know, when I couldn't remember her name, word association, and I didn't originally mean it as a insult, right? But
Yeah.
you know, murky cunt, and it's like, oh yeah, okay.
Well, if it fits, it fits. You know. Watch your stream and get off. Oh, I'm gonna sue you and all
All right,
this.
look,
Like
that
we
that
ain't
bitch
got
is not
nothing.
that bitch is not watching my stream.
Oh, I know she's not, but I'm just saying if she did.
I mean, I was on reality based where they basically brought on some fair sized named people, right?
Yeah.
Had 8-bit Eric and Smash JT and some others, right?
Yeah.
And I believe it was mostly set up as a dig at her, and I doubt she even watched that.
Probably not.
Although I did get dig in at 8-bit Eric, which I don't think he appreciated it at all, but it was all in good fun. You know, I said while you're out there wrestling, try not to tongue any assholes. Which, if you don't know that inside joke, I'll leave it alone.
I don't think I want to know the inside joke anyway.
He does. Sometimes when he does live streams, he drinks a lot and says things he shouldn't.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't nothing personal. It was just for a quick laugh, but he didn't seem to laugh.
I think you might have hurt his feelings. I saw that stream. I think you might have hurt his feelings.
Well, he might have been ashamed that he said those things, and you know, and on YouTube, nobody ever goes, "Oh, I'm ashamed." They go, "No, fuck it, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, and fuck you." You know, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have said it, but I didn't mean it in any way bad.
Yeah, well, I'm sure if you did hurt his feelings, it was short lived. You know.
Oh yeah. I mean, after all, I'm a nobody.
That's not true. You're somebody.
In the world of YouTube, I'm a nobody.
Well, that perspective goes along with, I look at it this way. Nobody in YouTube is really anybody because they could pull the plug at any time and they'd be left with nothing.
Yeah, they do. They get too comfortable with it. When, you know, essentially YouTube, you know, Google is their employer, essentially. And they get too comfortable with it. They're like, well, I'll go to Rumble. They may do all right at Rumble, but they're not going to pull the same kind of numbers and money for, you know, whatever little money there is. They're like, I'm working for myself. I get it, but I think they get a little too comfortable with the idea and often lose touch with that how heavily dependent they are on Google, hence YouTube.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's always in the back of my mind that Google could pull the plug on it at any point,
well,
and everybody would be left with nothing. So
YouTube is full on corporate. They will always toe the line. They're full on DEI. You know, didn't invent it or doesn't deserve. Oh fuck, I can't even keep track. Didn't earn it. Well, there's a lot of, you know, mock abbreviations for DEI. I can't recall them all right now, but one is Donald ended it.
yeah.
But like my point, Google is full on into that. They will toe the line. They will sell out the corporate. They will take that side over our side every time. And here we have a big group of people going, I'm telling the people how it is, and I'm getting known for it, and I'm getting a little money for it. Some people get a little, some people get less, or some get none. But they're all dependent, including myself, on an entity that hates us.
Yeah, and you know, part of me is like, okay, I don't know how to feel about that. Also in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, need to make a plan B in case YouTube goes belly up and we have nothing. You know what I mean? I mean, because people still need to get the word out about. Yay! People still need to get the word out and speak out against things that is wrong with society and things like that, or just to make videos that maybe cheer people up, you know. Well, they need a way to do that in case YouTube goes belly up and they are left with nothing.
That's why I fully support independent media. I support Rumble, or there's several of them out there. And of course, you know, I'm live and I can't think of any of them, but there's several of them out there. Rumble, there's BitChute. There obviously there's more. And what I mean is in the general format of the same way that YouTube is, more or less.
Yeah.
And while people will stream to these other services, they always treat it as second best, last resort, and that's because they get less viewers. But at the same time, I think they should be taking it more seriously.
Well, can you do this kind of thing on Discord?
You wouldn't really get much of an audience.
Okay, well, I mean, I don't know how it works.
I don't know how well you could do it on Discord in some form or fashion, maybe, but not the same. Yeah. Now, earlier, before the stream started, Furious Dan, Retro Overkill, showed up. He says, I left you a like, my friend. And he is passionate, enthusiastic, works at hell, works like hell on YouTube and Rumble, always creating. It's got mad energy, you know, and enthusiasm.
He seems like a decent person. I mean, just from watching him, you know, he seems like an all right person.
Yeah, and you know, I know a lot of these people in the realm of what I'm doing some of them really are bigoted. I mean, like, and they don't attempt to hide it. Most of them, not all of them, most of them are quite right-winged. I don't affix myself to left or right. my beliefs are subject to change depending on everything, depending on the political parties, depending on the world. Of course, you're never gonna find me up here on here going, I'm for LGBTQ blah 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 blah, and then I'm gonna be a tranny and then all that nonsense, right? And we gotta support our zoophiles and maps. Oh hell no, you're never gonna find me flipping.
Oh no,
I don't really look at that as a left wing, right wing issue. I mean, ideologically, party wise, the left is embracing that kind of thing to try to get more support from the youth, but they don't really believe it. Then again, they are bringing a lot of trannies into Congress, so
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, well, whatever the case, yeah, you're never gonna see me flipping like that. Never.
No.
Never.
I mean, I think maps and zoophiles and all that shit needs to be dealt with.
And for those who aren't familiar, maps is their kind word for PDF files. Their kind word for, it stands for minor attracted people, I believe. It means they like diddling little ones.
Yeah. I have no patience for that.
I would knock a motherfucker off if I even thought he or her was thinking that shit.
Yeah. And zoophiles too.
In today's case, he, her, it, they, them, blah, 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 blah. I don't give a fuck. I'm not calling you that. I'm just going to do what I got to do.
Well, Ryan from the Old White Road, he's got the phrase tranny demons. And he ain't wrong. Because I still think it's some sort of possession that has overcome these people to make them like this.
Well, here's the thing. I genuinely believe that there's some of them that aren't that way, that they just feel different. They don't feel like they're in the right body or whatever. Even though, my take on it is we all, as human beings, go through the phase of not belonging and not feeling right. Then we don't flip genders for it. But I digress. I believe there's some that's just like, just let me be how I want to be because I feel this way, and that's it. But it seems to me that the community, they get in their echo chamber, and good many of them get extreme with it. They become extremists, and next thing you know, they're promoting the sick stuff. And more often than not, the leaders are doing this sick stuff. Just do a quick search on LGBTQ blah blah leader busted on. You're gonna get too many results to keep track of.
Yeah, I mean,
busted on the sick shit.
Yeah, that's my point. I want to know, okay, I can understand somebody not feeling comfortable in their own body and they feel like they're the wrong gender. I can understand that. What I can understand is them going off of the deep end, going after things that they know damn well they shouldn't.
And they're teaching tiny little kids to dress in drag and dance around for an adult audience, and vice versa. They're getting adults dressing as the opposite gender, dancing around for the children.
Yeah.
It's like a thing I read. Anybody talking to kindergartners about sexuality is not a teacher, they're a predator.
Yeah, because little kid, this burns me up like nothing else, because what in their brain changed to make them think that was okay? And anybody with a sane mind, when they see little kids, they want to protect those little children, and they want to teach them, and to be upstanding citizens, and that's the
Well,
natural thing.
I've known people who had, say it the safe way, PDF files in their life. And more often than not, they end up saying, and this is disturbing as fuck. I don't even really want to say it, but I'll just say it. They'll say, "Oh, the kids wanted it. They enjoyed it," and that's what they got in their heads. They got in their heads like they're along with it, and they're doing them a favor or something.
Yeah, but that's the thing. What flipped in their brain to make them that way? Because it's coming out more and more and more that people of that community are the leaders and stuff are that way, and they're grooming the children to accept this kind of thing.
Hey, there's no shortage of regular straight or white people that's that way as well. So I'm not saying that, but this whole LGBTQ community is getting to the point to where like it's a guarantee there will be so many actively doing that in it.
Yeah. And sooner or later they're going to be making laws for it. It's just I'm wondering what changed in their brain to make them think that was okay. There's got to be a cause for it.
Look, we need to jump onto a lighter note.
Okay.
I suppose this is a lighter note, depends on how you look at it. So what we have here, Selena Gomez posts crying video as Trump deports illegals. All my people are getting attacked. Okay. Or I can only imagine she means by her people the Latino. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
I'll get into it. Actress and singer Selena Gomez posted a video of herself crying to social media where she lamented President Donald Trump deporting illegal immigrants from the United States of America. The video comes in the wake of President Donald Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, and U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE conducting raids on illegal immigrants to have them deported. So I'm going to play this clip.
I just wanted to say that I'm so sorry. All my people are getting attacked. The children. They don't understand. I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something, but I can't. I don't know what to do. I'll try everything, I promise.
What?
Okay. I feel bad. I honestly feel bad for these people who came here and made families and made a life, made friends, and they get thrown out. But here's the thing. It's always been illegal. I mean, in modern times or whatever the case may be. Since before they decided to come over and make a life, it's always been illegal. So you run to another country going, it's illegal, but I can get away with it. I know I can get away with it. People have got word back to me that they're allowing it. Do you think I would go and make a life in another country and just wait for the winds of change to come along?
No. No, because in every other country, you cannot go to that country unless you meet certain criteria. Why is the United States why should the United States be any different?
Well, I remember before Obama was president, Obama deported more Latino. What's another good word for it?
Oh, I don't know.
Anyway, he deported more of them than anyone I've ever seen, because I remember before he was president, and a lot of you people out there are too young to remember, maybe. every gas station, especially every laundromat. I don't know what it was about laundromats, but and they're usually connected to gas stations. A woman could not go to a gas station slash laundromat without getting surrounded by a dozen of them, not speaking a word of English, all dressing the same, looking the same. You know, they had their plaid shirts on, they had their caps on, and they would circle the woman, grabbing at her and saying things. Do you remember those days?
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't go to a gas station by myself. I wouldn't do it because even though I did not understand a damn word they were saying, you got the drift. So I wouldn't go to those places by myself.
Well, and on the other hand, I've got Mexican neighbors, and they're the best neighbors I ever had. You get both. But I take it that my neighbors are here legally.
Yeah, I think they are too.
The older ones of them don't speak in English very much at all, while their kids do, obviously. Of course, if I went somewhere, I would learn the basic language, or I wouldn't go.
Yeah.
But besides that, there was most definitely a immigrant, if that's even the right terminology to use. There was most definitely an immigrant problem before Obama. And where was the outrage when Obama did it? Because there may have been some, I don't know, but I don't recall it. I don't, recall it being all over the media or people picketing or, striking or, what's the word?
Protesting.
Yeah, protesting. I don't recall calls for protest when Obama did it.
No. Well, I mean, I remember some outrage, but it wasn't nothing like this. I mean,
And this was it Selena Gomez? Is that it?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with these celebrities of today. Don't care for that kind of music or anything. But she's going, "Oh, my people, and I can't do anything, my people." Okay, these aren't her people. They share a bloodline, but I doubt much else.
Well,
it reminds me when Mariah Carey was being interviewed, and I don't know what exactly she is, but just as a analogy. And she told somebody, "Oh, in America, we don't have to pay an electric bill." The bitch didn't know that Americans pay utilities.
I don't know. I remember that, and it was like she's got the intellect of a 5-year-old in that matter.
Okay, look, I'm a good bit Native American, and the injustices the Native Americans continue to go through, I bring it up now and then, but I'm not gonna cry and like, "Oh, let me get my phone out and." All right, first of all, that's a load of shit. That's a canned response, clearly. And secondly, you should have compassion for all types of people. If any type is being wronged, you should speak up on it, not just my people, my people.
Well, that's like Leonard Peltier. They was trying to get him out of prison for decades, and he just now got let out in a political stunt that Biden did.
Well, what it reminds me of is feminism. They speak for women. And they speak so much for women that it gets tilted, that it starts to become speaking against men. And then on top of it, they'll be like, "No, we're speaking for everyone." It's like, really? And what happens when a men's group tries to get together just for men? What happens? Especially if it's a men's rights group, what happens? How big of a fit do you throw when people are just trying to get their rights just like you're trying to get yours?
Well, feminism started out as a good thing because it gave women the right to vote and the right to own things and stuff like that. But that was decades ago. And now it's changed into this monster that
there's like first, second, and third wave and blah blah blah. You know, you get the gist. And they've gotten absolutely psycho with it.
Yeah. I mean, they'll go screaming at people and stuff like that. And it's like, how in the world are you going to get anybody to listen to you if you're screaming at them?
It also reminds me of one of the Black Lives Matter people recently said, and I didn't bookmark this, I should have, but they recently said that white people are abnormal, that they're a mutation and they shouldn't exist. That's why I advocate to stand up for everyone. It don't matter gender, color, orientation. When you see great injustice, undeserved injustice, you speak out on it. The problem is platforms like YouTube really don't want you doing that. They like it if you're lumped in a like something like Black Lives Matter or feminism, not men's rights. You know, everybody's like, you're an incel, you must die, you know. But they like it when you get lumped in a group. But if you're speaking for everyone, they don't like it.
They don't know where to put you is what it is.
Oh, they think you're some kind of weirdo extremist is what it is.
Yeah, that is true.
You know, everyone must be fit into their little boxes or you're broken and you're a problem.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think everybody deserves the right to exist. But when they start turning it into this monstrosity of an ideology that they have mutated to the point where it hurts people, then that's wrong. That's what I think. You know, I think ideologies need to bend with people, you know, because it changes all the time. And if you're so rigid in your belief system that you cannot bend to see another point of view, something is wrong.
You can speak up for your own, whatever your own may be, and that's okay, but not to the point where you're blinded to the blight of the rest of mankind.
Yeah, because everybody's going through shit, you know? It's not just a one group thing, it's everybody.
We're all in the same sinking boat.
Yep.
And while every passenger in that boat is drilling their own hole.
Yep, that is true. But I digress, I suppose.
Okay, as a reminder, an ever so gentle reminder.
Me! Choose me! Love me!
Good Lord, man.
I need help in getting this. I need help in getting this bitch monetized. You know, people don't. Apparently, people don't like me.
Oh well.
I can't imagine why. I need somebody to cry for me. Somebody needs to cry for me and go, my people, my people.
What people?
I don't belong anywhere. I don't fucking belong anywhere.
No, I like you. I think you're cool as shit. You have the guts to say the things that everybody else is feeling but can't say for whatever reason.
Yeah, but the moment you say it, everybody gets quiet and disassociates from you.
That is true. But you got the guts to say it anyway, and that's what matters. At least to me.
So I urge anyone that kind of likes my stuff to watch. I don't care if you watch in the background, watch muted, but watch it. You know, I need to watch hours. I need to get this bitch monetized.
Yeah.
Also, if you have any interest in being even an occasional co-host, I believe that could really help grease the wheels and keep the show rolling along better and get a better audience.
Oh, I think that's a good idea. That'd be fun. That would be a lot of fun.
So if you have an interest, I believe my stuff is linked. I'm gonna have to post something in a way that people can contact me. I don't think X Twitter allows it unless you both follow each other.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to devise a way, but I'll do that.
Well, that's like me. I'm a part of a subreddit called Ban Pit Bulls. And I know if I got on YouTube talking about how dangerous those animals are, I would get banned for life. But, that's just a thing. If I speak out the truth, then there's a lot of people going, it's like this and this and this and this and this. It's like, no, bitch, I got the statistics. I got the facts. But you can't really say anything much on it. I know how that is. And then I'll get mad and say stuff before I can help myself, and there it goes.
Yeah, I was just noticing that one of my viewers that views me on YouTube also followed me on Rumble. You can find me on Rumble. I do have a link to it. So yeah, I was just promoting alternative services. So yeah, find me on there, follow me on there. Glad to have you, obviously.
But yeah, we could, that would be fun if we had a bunch of people on here. We could go like the noise pollution factory or some weird shit like that. I don't know. It would be fun though. I think so.
Okay, I'm gonna go on to the next thing I got here. Oh my, like I said before, my next issue.
Oh no! Oh, this is
Okay.
Ew.
I remember the original of this movie, and it was cheap. It was stupid. It was ridiculous. This was back in the day, and I was a little kid. This was back in the day when you got a VCR tape, and like, oh, you're not supposed to have that tape, but you got it anyway. And the original was gory and showed titties, and like me and my brother, and cousins would sneak in the stuff like that and watch it. Try to rewatch it, once I was an adult, and I was like, this is unwatchable. This is crap. But apparently, it left an impression on a good many people. I guess they like the titties too.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Don't bother.
Oh, it's that bad.
You want to talk about a B movie? This is like a D movie.
Oh God.
Streaming and entertainment company Cineverse is releasing the Toxic Avenger remake in theaters later this year, and it will be unrated. We are back, citizens of Traumaville. When all hope seemed to be lost for the reimagining of our favorite superhero, the Toxic Avenger, Cineverse announced last Tuesday that they will be releasing the film theatrically later this year, and it will be unrated. The original is, I don't remember it that well, but it's something like this nerdy boy that got beat up on, and he was trying to get with this girl, and then he got in toxic waste, and then he basically took his mop, because he mopped the floors, and he killed a lot of people with it, and then he got the big tittied women, and there was like tits. The way I'm remembering it is there was tits all in the movie, like bare shown. So it's basically a horny monster who, won by killing everybody.
Yeah.
And that somehow, some years after that, managed to spawn a cartoon. Of course, the cartoon was PG, but it spawned a cartoon from it. And I believe it also had a few sequels.
Well, it seems like the movie is like it has a cult following and stuff.
Yeah. I'm beyond grateful to the team behind the Toxic Avengers, who were so supportive and steady-handed as we search for the perfect distribution partner for our film, said Blair in a statement via Variety. It's so cool that folks will have the chance to see this in theaters. It's a fun, rowdy movie you want to see with a crowd. Nothing like the original, apparently. Mutant hero smashes bad guys with a mop. Perfect entertainment for the whole family. Definitely not like the original. His statement continued, our goal was always to preserve the heart and the spirit of the original Toxie. They did not. I mean, I don't think they've seen the same movie I've seen.
Maybe not.
which was seared into our brains at a very young age. That is very true. And try to make something that trauma fans would dig, and at the same time do something with a character that feels fresh.
Okay,
So,
but
this movie has attracted some very well-known actors.
But if it was like you said, I mean, I don't know, I didn't watch the movie, but if it was like you said, how in the world did they turn it into like a PG-13 movie?
I don't. Well, back then they didn't. This is the remake.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying, how are they going to make them?
It would have to be drastically different. But it stars Peter Dinklage, you know, the little one.
Oh.
Kevin Bacon and Elijah Wood, you know, from
The Hobbit.
Lord of the Rings is what he's best well known for.
Yeah.
But if you look at some of the pictures there, there's Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
There's Elijah Woods. And I don't know who Dinklage would play, but again, I haven't seen the movie in 40 years, maybe.
Yeah.
Quite a long time.
Shoot, I may have to watch the movie just to familiarize myself with it.
If YouTube don't cut it out, here's the official trailer for the remake.
And
again, fuck that. And again, I urge you, do not watch the original. You will just end up thinking it's retarded and skipping it. It has to be a nostalgic thing or it will not take.
There are still no leads as to the identity of
the freaky folk hero remains at large. Sir, what did you see last night?
I heard gunshots, saw blood. Handsome fella had his arm tore off like wet bread, and the creature run off into the night.
He looks like a fucked up hot dog. That part was very shocking to me. Motherfucker.
Can we put that up? Anyone that may have encountered the strange. Breaking news, a group of armed extremists, the Nasty Lads, they've taken hostages at a mincemeat lunchatorium downtown.
Let's go live.
We are the Nasty Lads! We are angry! Go, go, go!
Who the fuck are you?
Yeah. What the hell is that? He's a hero.
The Toxic Avenger.
That's what the kids are calling him. I think it's swell.
Now I hope that little midget isn't playing the Toxic Avenger himself.
Yeah.
I mean, after he, you know, went on about Snow White and the Seven Dwarves and is like basically, that's anti-little people and blah, 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 blah. Fuck that motherfucker.
Yeah, he just cost a bunch of little people their jobs.
Yeah, fuck that little midget.
Yep.
Like this midget comedian said, midget, please.
Yeah.
This comment here implies that Dinklage will be playing the Toxic Avenger, which he wasn't a midget then. He was like just a young teenager, maybe.
Yeah. Well, maybe the sludge shrunk him or something.
It just doesn't make sense. Maybe he's desperate for roles now. But hey, isn't it like wrong to put a midget in a short person role?
Yeah.
According to Dinklage.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, oh, hi, Hook. We got a viewer. Welcome aboard.
Welcome, Hook. I've seen you around before. It's probably on reality based, but I'm glad to have you here.
But this movie, I don't know.
It says back in the 90s, but to my recollection, it came out in the 80s, and they said it had an NC-17 rating. To my recollection, if I can talk right. They didn't have that rating back then. It was probably unrated or triple X one.
Yeah.
Because that's the rating they had then, X and double X and triple X.
Oh, there's Warren. Hi, Warren.
Welcome, Warren of Bly. I'm not gonna pretend to understand what that name means. You can tell me if you like, don't matter. But always happy to have you. Always welcome.
It makes me think of like a dwarf fighter or something, like in D&D. That's what I think of when I hear the name.
It could work. That could work. So
But,
the Toxic Avenger remake. I don't know. Maybe you should watch the original. I mean,
no, don't make me.
It's cheap. It's corny. It has a lot of titties and a lot of people getting their arms ripped off and that kind of thing.
Oh, what the hell? I'll give it a shot.
Very corny, very bad effects.
Okay. I gotta ask you: is it the kind of movie you gotta get drunk to watch so it'll make sense?
I don't
know. I'll give it a shot.
OG Toxic Avenger is great. I don't know if you caught it, but I was saying I seen it when I was a kid, and it was back, when like me and my brother and some cousins, they would sneak in stuff. A lot of times porn, but in this case it was that movie, and it was probably like X-rated or something. And we would get a thrill out of watching shit we shouldn't be watching. And for that reason, it holds nostalgia for me. But I believe if I tried to rewatch it now, it would just be too fucking silly.
Well, I'll give it a shot. Why not?
Okay. Warren of Bly. It's a character in my favorite fantasy book series. I'm not familiar with whichever book that is, but it could be interesting. Oh, he brought up good point here. It's like Puppet Master 6 or Jason X. I would say it's more like the earlier Puppet Master ones, but I would say more over the top silly than those even.
Oh, okay. Well, I like the Puppet Master, so I'll give this a shot.
You probably regret it.
I probably will, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it anyway. It's like, what was that? World of Warcraft. Leroy Jenkins. Yeah.
Okay. And I'll repeat it again. One day I would like to get my channel monetized. What I really need is watch hours. I'm good on the subscribers for now. Of course, you're going to grow that, obviously. But right now, what I'm really hurting on is the watch hour. So I don't give you shit if you watch it in the background, watch it on mute, but watch my shit. Help me out.
Yeah. I like those puppets. I often thought about, creating my own.
And as a subtle reminder, when you're surfing around YouTube going, what I want to watch, it's just a general reminder.
Me! Choose me! Love me!
Pull yourself together, man.
Yeah, like my bot says here, like and subscribe. Fuck you. I mean, thank you.
Oh, that clip you just played, that reminds me of the girl that used to live down the street. She was a crackhead for sure.
Which one?
The girl that used to live down the girl that used to live down the street on the corner, she'd always walk the road.
It's not the one I found in the woods one night, is it?
Yeah, it's her.
That
was some surreal shit.
I got shot at and I shot back. I saved some crackheads' asses. I'm not gonna get into the whole story.
No, it's funny. All this shit happened on Christmas Eve. No, Christmas night. Yeah, it happened on Christmas night, and we was in here talking, and we seen a pair of legs running on the camera, and I'm going, "Hey, I seen a pair of legs going across by the fence." So you go out there, and you was gonna shoot them, but they was already getting shot at by the neighbors, and you brought them in the house, going, "What the fuck is going on?" And then that crackhead started telling you about his sister. He lost his sister somewhere in the fucking woods,
Okay.
and then it was funny.
I guess the moral of the story is when there's crackheads running in the dark toward your place being shot at, ignore it, I guess, or shoot them all. One of the two, you choose.
Yeah, but you found her anyway, way off in the damn woods. And I don't know what happened to those people, but never seen them again after that.
All right. We'll go on to the next thing I got lined up here. James Gunn fixes Superman, removes blood from TV spot.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I understand what they're talking about. Are they talking about getting?
We'll get into it. James Gunn has cut out the blood from the new Superman TV spot featuring David Cornsweet as the new Man of Steel. I get tripped up on that name because I think of wet corn.
Ew.
Anyway, here in the original trailer, there's a blood seeping out of his mouth here. And then there was a new TV spot, no blood. Why was the blood removed? No, they said maybe it was too mature for TV, and maybe they couldn't show it on NFL games on Sunday. So that's some speculations as to why. Person who wrote this apparently says, I actually like it better without the blood. I also like this spot a lot better than the trailer as it comes off way more hopeful. How are you going to have hopeful without despair? You got to, I mean, you know, fucking unicorns farting rainbows. I mean, what is it without opposition? You know,
but
how are you going to have hopeful without something to be hopeful for?
I have questions. I want to know. Scroll back up a little bit so I see the picture. Okay, how in the world is anybody expected to believe if you get knocked the fuck out like this, there ain't no blood? It doesn't make any sense. Physically speaking, it makes no sense.
Gunn also ditches the Christopher Reeve John Williams guitar score, which, you know, the original, the 1970s original Superman music.
Oh,
apparently, they had in the first trailer, they had a rendition of it by kind of like guitarish sounding. And apparently in this one, they got rid of it.
Well, why?
I don't know. James Gunn Superman gets released on July the 11th, 2025. Okay, YouTube might want me to cut this out, but I'm gonna play it anyway. Yeah, I decided to mute it. That scene there with his face forward flying has been mocked a lot since this came out. It's been mocked a lot on the internet. But he does look like the cheap version of Superman, or as you might say, the Temu version or the Wish version. He does. I mean, the suit don't fit right. It just, I don't know. It's just not right. None of it's right, in my opinion. My take on it, fucking no, none of it's right. The last incarnation of Superman with Henry Cavill wasn't right on, but at least it looked better than this.
Yeah. To me, this does not feel like Superman. It just doesn't. I don't get why they would make these changes and think that was okay, because people go to see a Superman movie because they want to feel the nostalgia, the connection, and all that stuff, like
Great
everybody
value,
did with the
Superman.
first one. Oh, great value, Superman. But I remember when the first Superman came out, and it was like epic. The music, and then them showing him flying around the world and the horizon and all that stuff. It
Yeah,
was
well,
epic.
you and me are old fucks at this point, right?
Yeah.
We can remember the 1970s Superman premiering, and for the time, shit, even for now, it beats a lot of stuff for now.
Yeah.
I mean, for one, now there's a lot of CGI, and we're overloaded with CGI, and it tricks your eye, tricks your mind to some extent, but it still looks kind of like like they animated a doll or perhaps a cartoon. You still get you go, oh, everything looks like CGI, and it is a good bit of it. Back then, the effects didn't look as good, but you had in your head it's still real to a point.
Hook makes a good point about this, that they
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 try to
try.
create heroes that don't have a struggle, like Captain Marvel bullshit. They give them plot armor, no real challenge and infinite power. Well, that's been an ongoing thing with Superman anyway. It kind of reminds me of Goku, uh, particularly in the comics. Is like, oh, Superman can punch through dimensions and he can pick up 100 quintillion tons, and it's like, oh, come on, get off of it already. You're gonna
Yeah.
fart and destroy the universe.
Yeah. Well, didn't they have the Hulk kind of like that at one point, to where if he moved wrong, he would crack the earth or some shit like that?
Yeah, that was in World War Hulk, but that was like the penultimate amount of his power. But the way they do Superman on a regular basis is just, they get too silly with it, kind of like they do with Goku, where Goku like goes to heaven and beats God in a fight.
Yeah.
The cape shit played itself out. In reality, no one gets to go, I'm gonna go be a hero today. It requires pain. Evil chooses who and when. God chooses to good chooses to act. Of course, I'm no hero, but I've tried to help a lot of people, really have. Whether it be put myself right in a position where I could get stabbed or shot, or whether it be to take someone in and help them out. Virtually every time. I mean, I'm speaking of decades of experience. Don't help people like that. They will burn you.
Yeah, that's true.
They need your help, sure. That's not what they're wanting. They're not wanting that. And you're just gonna get burnt.
That's very true.
No good deed goes unpunished. In reality, Superman would probably run into something similar to that.
Yeah.
But that kind of plays into Hook's point here. In reality, nobody goes, I'm gonna go be a hero today. It requires pain. Evil chooses who and when. Good chooses to act. Yeah, I get where he's coming from.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I just wish they would quit making Superman into this god. Basically, that's what they're trying to do. And nothing he does, he could rip cities apart and all this shit, and there's no consequences. That's unrealistic.
Superman would buy a timeshare in a holiday apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, if the only way you can be defeated is with kryptonite. Well, that hurts your story coming and going. Either everybody's going to get a hold of some kryptonite and fuck you up, or you're just going to be, whether you mean to be or not, a threat to all existence.
Yeah.
If you're like so powerful, you can literally do any physical act. Kryptonite and compound interest.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I would like to see Superman, a movie about Superman done more realistically. You know, like if he tore a city apart, then there would be some consequences. That's the reality of it. I mean, there's all kind of people getting hurt every time Superman goes to fight something. It's always in a city or something like that, and then people get hurt and nobody is taking him
Okay,
to
well,
court or
think
nothing.
about it. They're like, Superman fucked our shit up again. What are we gonna do? Nothing we can do. You know. In reality, every government on Earth would be trying to produce kryptonite to knock them off.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, every government in the world would be trying to figure out how to contain him, basically. And he would be used for a lot of science experiments and things like that. So that's my take on it.
I'm gonna share a video that Smash JT did. Of course, I'm not gonna sit here through the whole boring thing. I'm gonna play it at quicker speed. But essentially, what it is you know, the real gaming awards. That's, if I got that name right. The developers are pissed off that their games were brought up. They were like, we're gonna feature some indie games, and they brought it up. And these developers like, we don't want to be associated with you, even though it's free advertising, even though their customers, their servers, they got a big boost after it was mentioned on it.
And they're mad?
Yes, they are mad.
Oh, Lord.
This past week, Stuttering Craig of Side Scrollers put on his event called The Real Game Awards. And in all honesty, it went off without a hitch, with incredible trailers being shown from some pretty cool indie-style games, fun awards being given out, and great time was had by basically the entire gaming community at large, save for a few vocal minority of people, which we'll definitely get into in this video. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. There is some major backlash going on right now with Stuttering Craig's The Real Game Awards, all because developers are not happy that they're being associated with an event that's made by gamers for gamers to celebrate games. Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out SmashJT.com. The full article breaking down how Stuttering Craig's event was great, until afterwards there were a bunch of trolls online attacking developers saying, why are you guys supporting these people? Don't you know about how bad they are? And the developers were kind of caught off guard, like, whoa, we don't want anything to do with these kind of awards and this kind of show and these kind of people. They didn't tell us anything about it. And now Stuttering Craig's facing backlash for daring to celebrate games. Now, full disclosure, before I go into this video, SmashJT is a 1337 elite member sponsor level of the...
Okay, I've watched Side Scrollers and I've seen this Stuttering, what did he call him?
I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, I forget his name. But I have watched him, and my take on it, I always thought he was kind of a centrist. You know, he would never come out and be truly anti-woke. He tried to stay centrist. The way I seen it anyway, it looked that way to me. And now people are like, we don't want to be associated with you. Yeah, Stuttering Craig, weird fucking name, whatever. It was literally proving the point. We just want fun games, and some troons accidentally stumbled their way into supposedly making a fun game, and they got ass hurt, and not like the normal way they do. Yeah, okay. The Real Game Awards is like, we don't care your stance. We don't care if you're a transformer. We don't care. Did you make a fun game? The gamers will decide. We're asking the gamers directly. And the gamers like, yeah, this transformer made a good game. And they're like, hey, we're going to show this good game that made. And now they're mad.
Oh, that doesn't make any damn sense. It's free advertising. It's good for business. Why would they just want to bitch? You know what I'm saying?
I'll continue on with Smash JT here. He did a all right job in covering it, and he was in the Game Awards briefly.
The Real Game Awards. That involves me deciding to give $1,337, donating in support. Shorts all out there, so you know where I'm coming from. Based off of how the game industry has basically been straight up attacking gamers for the better part of the past year, which is really wild to me. But regardless of that, let's get into the story. Stutter and Craig's brainchild, the Real Game Awards, originally made some waves in the gaming community as a refreshing alternative to the bloated and overly corporate mainstream media game award shows. The event, which in all honesty was a very fun watch. It aired without a hitch, and I even streamed it on Will of the Fans channel. We had a great time. Words of Paradise was there as well. We were celebrating being gamers and enjoying the pastime that we love so dearly. It was a celebration of gaming culture for gamers.
Yeah, I'm gonna pause this and say a little bit now and then, but Words of Paradise. I've been on Discord, you know, talked with him some. He never let me on his show for whatever reason. But he this whole tranny bit.
Oh.
Well, you've seen him do it, haven't you?
Oh yeah, I remember now.
He goes, he's Leona.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just a bit or if he's kind of into it, because he I don't know, it almost feels like he showed some signs here and there. You know?
Yeah. I like his bird though.
It may be just a bit. It may be. But maybe they seen that instead of going, oh, a supporter, one of us, they went, he's mocking us. Which, what's that say about them?
Nothing good.
I mean, maybe they should be like, hey, Leon, are you one of us? Which I guess he said enough to go against it. But then again, he does that bit. And I kind of wonder, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, if he is, you know, as long as he ain't hurting nobody.
Yeah. Hook here says it's just a bit. And ultimately I'll believe that. But there's a part of me that kind of wonders.
Well, I mean, he plays a good part, you know, if it's just a bit, he plays it well.
Wouldn't be some shit, and I'm sure they exist, where you have a tranny who's against all this shit and even speaks against it, but they're still a tranny. I could see that.
Yeah, me too.
But I'll continue on. Hurry up, get this video over with, because I don't want to put everybody through watching a video in a video. I feel bad for even doing it, but here we go.
By gamers, untainted by the typical political posturing and pandering these days that so many of us have come to expect from the larger award show ceremonies. And yeah, even I was a presenter in it. Stutter and Craig asked me if I wanted to be, and I looked at it as an honor, as something to take part in, to push the game industry to what I feel like is a better place for the vast majority of gamers. But as the dust settled, the true fallout was just beginning. It didn't take very long for the hardcore, woke, left-leaning segment of the game community to crawl out of the darkest pits of despair from the internet and try to turn their attention to the event's participants, launching yet another one of their cringe campaigns of outrage and cancellation attempts. Their primary targets, the developers of the games being featured in the show, many of whom had no idea they were included in the first place. Beginning with PSX Bunlith, who was the head developer for Nightmare Kart, and they tweeted out, so honored to have won the coveted Anti-Woke Game Awards Best Racing Game category as a trans woman. It is so comforting to see them prioritize diversity, equality, and inclusion. To celebrate, I'm going to have gay sex with my F-word transgender dog girl, which is weird enough in its own right.
Yes, they really said that. The developer of that game says, thank you for the award, and you embracing LGBTQ, you know, DEI, blah blah blah. And now I'm gonna go have sex with my sex slave dog girl, some nonsense like that, right? They actually said that.
Ew.
So here Hook is informing us there's a few troon grifters, but that die is cast. Lady MAGA, those troons know there's money to make on the right wing, arguable if mainstream Republicans are right wing at all, though. Well, I'm not familiar with the ones he's speaking of. I haven't seen them, but yeah, I'm sure they exist. No doubt about that. And yeah, that's such a niche thing they're getting into. It's probably a lose-lose game, but I could be wrong on that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm gay, and I hate the LGBTQ community. I think it's bullshit. So there you go.
I'm straight. I'm straight as can be. You know, I'm like, just keep your shit out of my face, and don't diddle kids or animals or dead things.
Yeah, it's like, don't do disgusting shit, and we won't talk shit about you.
In that case, you don't deserve to breathe air. But
Yeah.
besides that, keep your shit to yourself, and everything's all right.
Yeah, it ain't nobody's business.
And don't try to force out all straight people and white people and religious people and all this nonsense.
Yeah.
But this is like an outright attack at Stuttering Craig for putting on his own award show and basically taking the standpoint of, yeah, I know what you guys really are all about, even if you're not saying it, and I don't want to be associated with you, which is really weird because Stuttering Craig isn't about any of that. He responded, congrats. You'll notice that literally no one cared that you're trans. Literally no one. The audience cared that you made a good game. That's all people want. Our show is not anti-woke. It's simply meant to be an alternative to the access media / industry show. Enjoy your gay sex. For some reason, these people always seem to focus on what they do when they close the bedroom door. Like we care about it. We never do care about it.
He's right. Like he says, oh, this is what we're really about. Enjoy your gay sex. Because who the fuck asked?
Nobody.
Like, why did they feel the need to say what they stick their thing in? Why?
I don't know. I don't want to know what these people do. I mean, ew. Nobody cares. All people want to know is if the game is good, they'll try it out, and if they like it, they'll buy it or whatever. They don't give a shit about this
we never
other
talk about
stuff.
that stuff. I don't know why they always fixate on that's the thing that we care about when it's not. And then Stuttering Craig went on to talk about how he's since now been blocked by this person after giving them an award for best racing game. Stuttering Craig said, the post below was both a quote tweet and response to the trans developer who was trying to be snarky about winning an award at the Real Game Awards. My response was honest and in good faith. This person's response, hide it from the post and block me, as it doesn't fit their internalized victim narrative and public narrative they want to spin. Somehow, while this person was literally getting praise for their work, they were able to...
Now, I'm sure you remember when they said, we just want to live and coexist.
Yeah.
What happened to that?
Those days are gone.
Okay, we were all like, okay, you can get married and be miserable like the rest of us. And it's like, okay, you can dress up like that. Okay. And we'll, whether we like it or not, do it. And now they're blocking you. They're calling you fascist and sexist and misogynist and this ist and that ist and this phobe and that phobe. Now they're going, you're a homophobe if you won't do a tranny. And if you use the word tranny, you're a trannyphobe. Fuck, I don't know.
You're some kind of phobic, It doesn't matter to them.
What the fuck ever happened to we just want to exist? We just want to be like everybody else. What the fuck ever happened to that?
I don't know. It's like the government gave them an inch and they took a mile. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
To spin that into being a victim, which I get it. You're entitled to do whatever the hell you want to do, but this really does shine a spotlight on what we're dealing with in the game industry with unhinged developers that are looking for any reason to claim victim status. Instead of just celebrating coming together that an award was given to them, they want to say, no, I don't agree with that person's politics, and so now I'm blocking them, and I want to try to get an own on them, like own the chuds with a tweet for daring to recognize that the game was good. I don't understand where they're coming from. And you would think it'd be one thing if it was just that one developer, but no, it continues. The lead developer of Sulaco, a game that honestly looked pretty cool, that is currently in early access on Steam, goes by the name of Nextstick on Blue Sky, seems to have taken some issues with the free promotions that Stuttering Craig was giving them via his Game Awards. He was showing a trailer of their game and thought it would be cool to promote games during this show. And sure, he could have reached out to them before the show and said, hey, I'm looking to feature your game during my show. Are you okay with that? And they'd probably say sure or no, which is fine. But at the same time, it's like, who would turn down free promotion from an award show celebrating video games? It's wild to me. Nextstick on Blue Sky said, we have not paid for an advertisement for the Real Game Awards. I've never even heard of it until an hour ago. And then they followed that up saying, the more I'm looking into this, the more I want to distance myself, laughing my ass off. And I see there's a lot of people that were tagging them saying, what are you doing on here? Do you know how bad these people are? Why are you associating with these people? And it's all these lefty lunatics that do the same tactics they always do, trying to cancel the opposition because they can't be creative and make anything of their own. So they try to tear down anyone doing anything in this world. Crumbs on Twitter said, indie game Sulaco game, slams Stuttering Craig and his Game Award show for ... checks notes, featuring them for free because they thought it was a cool game. They did this after Alyssa, Wash Your Crack, and Airbag all went after them for the crime of being on the wrong show. Sulaco didn't just cave to the bullying cancel culture, they embraced it and have picked a side. Vote accordingly. This is all crazy to me because it has literally nothing to do with politics. These are woke lefties that are lunatics pushing politics every chance they get, trying to find politics at every walk of life, that they can't just have people have their own show and enjoy.
You know, I would appreciate it if I had, you know, I get the occasional hater like, you're grifting. Really? I didn't fucking know it. I don't make any money. I got a donation link. No one fucking clicks on it.
Yeah, it's like, how the hell are you a grifter? You don't get no money.
I'm not talking shit about my viewers. They can do as they wish. Either way, I'm talking shit about the trolls. I would appreciate it if one came on and said, this is where we're really coming from, and I would come back with a civil response, and it would stay civil, and we would give our viewpoints. Now, I'm not craving such a conversation, but rather than them trolling me, going, you're a this-ist and a this phobe and this and a grifter, if they came on and said, this is where we're coming from because this is how we feel and how we live, and you know, and civil, right? I would answer civil.
Yeah, but
I wouldn't mind an honest window into their world to see where they're really coming from.
Yeah, but
I would appreciate that.
Trolls won't do that though. They just want to get on and just.
That's the thing. I have yet to find one of those motherfucking types who are civil. I've not found one. They're so puffed up with pride, they can't seem to have a conversation.
I don't understand what they got to be prideful of.
They were taught to be. I mean, you know, I'm not prideful for being straight. It's just the way I am. I'm not prideful for my skin color or, you know, whatever. And if we want to start talking about white privilege, for one, I'm mostly native. You know, I'm mixed. And I never had no fucking privilege in my life.
Yeah,
I've been harassed by cops. I've lived the lowest of the low and had to dig myself out of it. You know, where the fuck is this white privilege? You know, is there a line for it? Do I need to apply for a license?
I don't know. I'm still waiting on it myself.
But it could be I'm not white enough. I mean, I pass as white, right?
Yeah.
But it could be I'm not white enough.
Yeah. I think that might be what it is, you know? But in reality, there is no such thing as a truly white person. They're all mixed. Everybody's mixed. It's just the way it is.
If you're looking at it like what is considered white, you know, European enough or whatever the case may be, right?
Yeah.
Depending on your metrics, there is truly white people, but we're all more mutts than you might realize. And that includes the black people and the Latino, whatever you call.
That is true.
You know, you get a black person or a Latino person. Again, I'm probably saying it wrong, but whatever. And they're going, oh, and I represent my people and I'm full and this and that. You're probably not. I think even these people that think they're full-blooded this or that, they're usually not. There may be a rare case that they are, but that would be so super rare.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, things like that is just, it's like spinning your wheels in place and getting nowhere.
Yeah, I'm going to continue this.
Enjoy things. They have to inject their own narratives and run with that and try to cancel anyone they disagree with. This is wild. The craziest part, some developers still listen to them, including Sulaco. So Stutter and Craig didn't ask Sulaco's developer Nexus to have them as part of the show, and they took issue with that. But then you follow on Nexus's Blue Sky, and they're promoting Doom, a game that they didn't make, and they're saying, this is a cool game, everyone. I like Doom. And I'm like, what? You're literally promoting a game that you didn't make on your own Blue Sky, and then your next post you're saying, I don't like other people that I don't like promoting the game I made. Can you please make up your mind? And then we have the lunatics over at Hard Drive Magazine on Twitter saying, hey, Stuttering Craig, is it official Real Game Awards policy to hire Holocaust-denying racists to do all your animations, or just the one you posted yesterday? Which, again, they think this is some sort of own on the chuds because they don't like one person that got hired for something that may or may not transcendentally have anything to do with the work being done on the show, but they're looking for anything to get the show canceled because they hate the fact that there's someone like Stuttering Craig moving forward and changing the industry for the better, but it doesn't align with their ideologies, so they want to do everything they can do to stop it. Oh, and ABGN, James Rolfe was on there too, and that pissed off a lot of them as well because they thought that he was one of theirs on their side and everything sides with them, and now they're like, oh, even James Rolfe is one of those now? Oh God, of course he is. Now they're mad at James Rolfe for being a part of it, because this is what they do. This is how they get people to submit to be on their side, is by shaming them, by canceling them, and weak-minded people always bend the knee and end up going on their side, which is why it's filled with a bunch of people that never want to do or accomplish anything. Despite all the noise, it was a roaring success, and it showed everyone that there is a strong demand for gaming content that isn't afraid to reject the corporate and ideological stranglehold that has taken over much of the gaming industry at its root. As for me, I have zero regrets about supporting the Real Game Awards show. I believe in Craig's vision, and I still do to this day. The event was a big step in the right direction for gamers everywhere who are tired of being lectured and policed by the establishment. If anything, the backlash being faced here only proves the importance behind continuing the fight for gaming culture to change in a better direction that celebrates creativity and gamer-focused fun above everything else. And honestly, I guess we all should have expected this kind of backlash, but to see developers so quickly bend the knee and then go on the attack against Stuttering Craig for daring to try to champion and promote games is just beyond wild to me. I will live my entire life and never understand.
I'm curious as to how Stuttering Craig will react to this. Ultimately, I support the Real Gaming Awards. I think he's doing a good thing, a great thing even. But that's subject to change depending on how he reacts to this. Because that would be the definition of a sellout. You get some complaints and then you make some changes you wouldn't have otherwise made.
Yeah.
You know, depending on the direction of those changes.
Yeah.
So as it stands, I support what he's doing entirely, and I hope it grows.
Yeah, because people in general just want to play games. They don't want politics in their gaming. They're fatigued with it everywhere else, and they want a place that they can escape to. That's what games are for. It's escapism for a little while to let your brain relax from all the bullshit that goes on in everyday life.
It also reminds me of black culture. There's sure there's a lot of trouble with black people, no doubt about it. I don't think anybody, not the black people, don't deny that, can't deny that, or shouldn't deny that. There's also some good people, black people also. But you want to talk about fatigue, it's like they're constantly inventing, well, for one, new slang. Like it seems like daily, new slang. It's a black thing. And then ways to go, oh, but this white stuff, blah, 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 blah. It's like forced division, forced separatism. You know, there's plenty of black people I'm cool with. No problems at all. But there is definitely fatigue over the constant blackness of it all. It's like, oh, black people and black families, blah, 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 blah. And no, that's poor people.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, really? I didn't know I was black, but according to you.
Yeah. Well,
like,
I mean,
we ate this and our mother said this, and this is a black thing.
I was like, no, it's a poor thing.
I mean, it's kind of like, that black man in Shawshank Redemption, what's his name?
Oh, Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, it's like Morgan Freeman said, you want to get rid of racism? Stop talking about race. And you don't see me constantly going, it's a white thing and it's a white word. And white folk do like this and black folk do like that. That you're just causing separatism. Don't put everything against the angle, a mirror, however you want to phrase it, of black, white. How does this affect that? What's this is this thing and this is that thing.
Yeah.
It's just more division. We don't need that.
Yeah, that's true.
I've had a good many black friends that were perfectly all right with, I'm thinking this motherfucker's cool as hell, right? Until they get around a couple of the black people, and then bam, white folk, blah, blah, blah. And then the next thing you know, they're laughing at you, and they're like, what are you doing hanging around that white boy? And all this bullshit.
Yeah. It's stupid.
Whereas none of the white people I know said anything, They didn't be like, why you hanging around with black boys, and it's a white thing, and they got no place in this white thing. No, there was none of that.
No.
Now, I'm just speaking my personal experience. I mean, others out there may have a different experience, but the conclusion I come to is always putting everything against white and black. You're just forcing more division.
Yeah. Well, it's like with what these people did with the Game Awards. The Real Gaming Awards was a good thing because it showcased games, and that's what it's supposed to be about. But these other people tried to put their politics into it and ruin it. That's all they're doing. They're just trying to ruin it with their politics. And to me, there is no place for politics in gaming at all, period. There shouldn't be.
Okay, here's the question. Where is there a place for politics?
That is a good question.
I feel politics, even in actual politics, like, Congress and all, almost always leads to suffering and division.
Yeah. Well, I think it has its place, but the way it is now, it's in everything and you can't get away from it.
Okay. Here's the thing. You're speaking of identity politics, and yeah, there's no place for that anywhere. Of course, politics is needed in actual politics. We just need better people managing it, where it doesn't become all about the money and who and and the lobbying and all this other nonsense that should be illegal.
Yeah.
But identity politics has no place anywhere.
No, it doesn't. Because all it does is create strife among people. That's all it does. That's all it's for.
Okay. As a reminder here, my bot has pointed out, ooh, what's that? A tip jar. It's a way I can get money since I'm not monetized. But if I sent myself money, that wouldn't do shit now, would it?
Nope. And then, yeah, that's funny as shit. All the trolls calling you a grifter. You don't get no money from this at all. It's like, how the hell can you be a grifter if you don't get no money?
If anything, I lose money to it.
Yeah.
Okay. And next, UBI soft, and yes, I say UBI, not Ubi or Ubi, because I'm not a 2-year-old. No, that's just my take on it. A lot of people think, they just grew up understanding it as UB or whatever. But UBI soft shuts down another studio and lays off around 185 people. And that is, what is that, a Black Samurai?
Yeah, that's the Black Samurai.
Or is that George Floyd? They actually have a skin for the Black Samurai, George Floyd. He goes around tearing up Japanese villages, and they're bowing to him. He's like double, triple their size, slicing shit down and destroying stuff, and they're just bowing to him. And everybody, and they're like, there's nothing wrong with this. Aren't you people supposed to be the sensitive ones?
Yeah.
UBI Soft announced it was shutting down another studio and laying off around 185 people across its entire business. Tom Phillips at Eurogamer reports that UBI Soft shut down UBI Soft's Leamington, which was located in these British terms, Warwickshire, England. The studio's 50-person staff is being disbanded. According to Moby Games, UBI Soft's Leamington Most recent release included Avatar, Frontier of Pandora, and Watch Dogs Legion, and also worked on Hyper Scrape. Yeah, Scrape, Starlink, Battle for Atlas, and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. So a lot of games are being affected by these massive layoffs. And I think we all know why the layoffs are happening.
Yeah.
Mr. Samurai Floyd.
Yeah.
We have the nobody. First of all, welcome to the stream. Always glad to see you. Always glad to hear from you. I heard about that game. It's so damn dumb. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They try so hard to be sensitive that they become offensive. The irony is hilarious. Well, like I always like to say, they are the Ouroboros. They are the snake eating its tail. Their logic goes so far, it turns on them and they eat their own.
Yeah.
On top of Ubisoft's Leamington being shut down, Philip also shared that other Ubisoft offices in Dusseldorf, formerly Blue Byte, Stockholm, and Newcastle-based Ubisoft Reflection will be downsized. I see why now they go Ubi or Ubi, because if you have to read it over and over again. But anyway,
yeah.
And Ubisoft spoke and confirmed the closure and layoffs as part of ongoing effort to prioritize projects and reduce costs that ensure long-term stability at Ubisoft. We have announced targeted restructuring at Ubisoft Dusseldorf, Ubisoft Stockholm, and Ubisoft Reflection at the permanent closure of Ubisoft Leamington site. We know why they're really doing it, right?
Yeah.
And it's not like nobody told them, you know. When we first figured out what they were making, it was like, whoa, what's wrong with you? Why would you do this? And they would not listen.
That's like that developer making a video going, the developers do not know what the gamers want. That's bullshit. Because gamers try to tell them and they don't listen. You know?
Yeah.
They don't listen.
I mean, as it was pointed out as well, by what way platform do we have of telling them? The biggest platform we have of telling them is people like me and bigger streamers than me will bitch about it. And they'll go, you're a troll, you're a grifter, it's an organized hate attack. No, we're trying to tell you, you're about to lose your ass, you're about to go bankrupt, you're about to be fucked.
Maybe they want to be fucked.
Get the lube, bend over, because it's happening.
Yeah. But, you know, anytime anybody has any criticism about their games, they block them. They shut them off.
Yeah.
So they don't.
Yeah, that man was like, developers don't know what gamers want, and gamers won't tell them exactly. It's like, you're the developer, motherfucker. It's easy for us to tell you what you've done wrong, but you're the one that's supposed to figure out how to do it right.
Yeah. I miss the days where games were good. They didn't have any politics in them, and you just played them for fun to get away from life for a while.
It says this should impact 185 employees overall. I'm betting it's more than that, because the many places, physical buildings they named, the many games they named, I'm betting it's a lot more than 185.
Yeah, I think so too.
This announcement comes in the wake of Ubisoft announcing it would shut down X-Defiant last month and transition half of the X-Defiant team to other positions within the company. At the same time, it also announced it would be closing San Francisco and Osaka production studios. Furthermore, the company shared it would be ramping down its Sydney production site. Ubisoft shared that 143 people be laid off in San Francisco and a combined 134 from Osaka and Sydney. It sounds like their entire business is falling apart, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, it's more than...
They've named places all around the world that they're shutting down.
Yeah, so the pitiful number that they gave for the employees getting laid off is crap, because they're going to lay off a lot more than what they're saying.
In a leaked email from Ubisoft CEO Ves Guillemot, whatever, to Ubisoft employees, he indicated more layoffs would be on the way. It's really adding up now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's been said that their actual big loss was on Skull and Bones, which nobody talks about because most people haven't even heard of it. But when they brought that out, I don't know, a few years ago, they're like, this is the first quadruple A game, and this is the greatest thing. It's next gen graphics, and everybody was like, looked at it and was like, I'll pass. And you don't hear about it. But they, it's being said that that's where they really lost their money. But then when Assassin's Creed Shadows, when people, got wind of that, I think that really was the last nail in the coffin for them.
Yeah, I think so too.
Now, they have so much money, they will continue in some capacity, but this has got to hurt them. This is bringing them to, they're having physical sites around the world and they're shutting down. This is going to make them a shadow of their former selves. It was also rumored that Ubisoft shut down its Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown development team. So yet another. I haven't kept track, but there's been quite a few now listed.
That just sounds like they're going to be laying off a lot more than what they're saying.
Endymion shared, I was also told the project that ruined Ubisoft was not actually Outlaws or Shadows. It was actually Skull and Bones. I was just speaking on that. And that Skull and Bones failed so badly for Ubisoft, it was the actual reason why they're dying the way that they are. He said it's not actually Outlaws and Shadows, if you can believe it. So they sunk a legendary amount of resources into that game, and it clearly did not work out for them all at all. But that may be the case, but they still had the reputation. They still had backers. They still had people feeding money to them. But then once you have such a disaster like Assassin's Creed Shadows that is insulting an entire country, more than one actually, but especially Japan, and pissing off all of America, that's going to leave a stain on them that they're not going to come back from so easily.
Yeah. But people tried to tell them before they released the damn stuff. It's not like they didn't know. They did it anyway. They fucked around and they found out that people are not going to take this bullshit anymore.
Well, that reminds me, when Bernie was running, right? And most people wanted Bernie to be president. And a lot of you was like, no, he's a Democrat. Fuck him. I get where you're coming from on that. I do. But as far as Democrats go, he would have been better than like Biden easily.
Yeah.
But people said, stop him from becoming president and fuck around and find out. Well, nothing happened. People didn't do anything. They were talking out their ass. But they did fuck around and find out, because now we have Trump.
Yep, we got Trump again. After they done tried to off so much.
Fucked around. And they
found out. Yeah, I mean, they tried to take him out, 3 times? And he still made it for president?
It was more than that. There was more attempts than that. There was the only ones that really caught the media's attention, or they would let the public know directly. But
Yeah,
it was more times
true.
than that.
Yeah. But from what I understand, he's doing a lot of good things so far anyway.
But it's like I said, no good deed goes unpunished. Even when you do great things, bad things will come out of it, unfortunately. There's no such thing as the perfect president.
True.
There will always be bad from good, and in some cases, even good from bad.
Yeah. Yeah. But from what I gather, he's going full force on this DEI stuff, which is a good thing. Yeah,
Good.
that's a good thing. And his immigration policies seem to be more forward than Biden's.
So this whole LGBTQ blah blah blah, all those fucking dumbass letters, and you know this DEI. Okay, it's what is it? 1% of all the people.
Yeah.
Word of lies says gotta go. See you later. I'm glad you came. You're always welcome.
Bye.
Always good to hear from you.
Have a good night, Warren.
And donate and all this shit and watch my stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Where was I? Oh yeah, they say that these DEI and LBGT, blah blah blah, they're like 1% or less of the population. Then why is it being forced on the entire population? Why, oh why?
That's a good question.
I've thought long and hard about this, and my logic always leads me to the same place, and I believe it's population control.
That makes sense.
Because there's one thing that these people do not do is reproduce in general.
Yeah.
And they're teaching it to the kids at the youngest age that they can manage. I just feel it's population control. I believe, you know, the population has gotten too big to manage. And while I can't fully disagree with population control, obviously I don't encourage them knocking people off, but I definitely don't agree with them pushing this crap on people as a way to lessen the population.
Yeah, I don't agree with it either.
It's a total psyop, and it's wrong. It's evil.
Yeah.
And by this point, so many young people, they've had it drilled into their head. They've been puffed up with pride about it, and they're fighting for it. They're fighting everybody else for it, which means what? Already we're going to have less of a population, but it's going to create a semi-permanent effect on mankind in the future. I mean, their ways has been being taught, I don't know, let's say at least for the last 25 years. That means the generations for 25 years will carry on certain ways of thinking that will be passed on through family lines from now on. That is, if it stopped today, if it all stopped today. The ideology of it will still be carried on for generations.
Yeah, that's true. And it'll take a long time for it to get back to the way it's supposed to be. Like honoring family values and things like that. Because right now they don't. They're pushing that stuff so hard to get rid of the family values and things. Because I honestly think they're jealous. They're jealous because they can't have families in the traditional way that other people do. So they want to get rid of it because they can't have it.
You know,
that's my
bad.
take on it.
I'm on here and I feel like a pimp and a whore in one. I'm like, subscribe, give me money, choose me,
Oh,
choose me.
Oh my goodness!
Oh
my goodness! You're gonna have to put on a dress.
But listen, my pronoun is pimp.
Are you gonna have to put on a dress?
Oh, fuck that! No, fuck no.
No. I think you'd make a pretty girl.
Oh no! Fuck that! Hell no!
Bitch, you better be joking.
I am joking. Oh, we could get you a big purple hat.
Hey.
Shut the fuck up!
Again.
Shut the fuck up!
Don't get.
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!
We'd have to get you a purple pimp hat.
Shut the fuck up!
Okay.
I don't play that shit.
No, I'm talking about the pimp hat. You know,
I don't give a fuck.
with the feather and the. Oh my goodness.
Okay, I'm gonna go on my next issue.
Okay.
BioWare shut down support for Dragon Age The Veilguard after EA revealed game missed sales expectations by 50%. And those numbers are well, let's say their books are cooked because they're counting like when they put the game on a service that you pay for monthly and you could play the games for that month.
Yeah.
They're counting where you bought a video card and it came with it. They're counting a lot of things that are not actual sales, and it's still missed by 50%.
Oh, that's bad.
In the latest patch notes for Dragon Age The Veilguard, BioWare revealed it would not be providing any more minor bug fixes or quality of life improvements, and would only monitor the game for game-breaking bugs. They should monitor it for more than that. My pronouns are I am non-binary. Anyway, this announcement comes amid BioWare's parent company EA revealing the game missed sales expectations by 50%. And that's because we had a horned bitch sit down going, I am non-binary. And everybody in the room was like, huh? What the fuck this bitch talking about?
Oh, I saw the clip for this game where there was that horned thing was talking about their pronouns and all that stuff. I mean, oh my god, it was was horrible.
And it's like, oh, I pulled a blah blah. I don't remember what. I'm gonna do push-ups now. The fuck this bitch talking about?
I don't know.
Push-ups for what was it, misgendering or some nonsense? Oh. This announcement comes shortly after EA announced in a press release that Dragon Age engaged approximately 1.5 million players during the quarter, down nearly 50% from the company's expectations. It says approximately twice for some reason. I guess they want to be very approximate. But approximation is actually an estimation on an exact number, so they're twice as unsure.
I don't know.
Furthermore, Dragon Age Veilguard executive producer Mark Dara had also indicated that EA was relocating BioWare staff to other studios aside from the upcoming Mass Effect game. It sounds much the same what's happening with UBI Soft. And again, I say UBI Soft because I say things how the fuck I want to say them. Sounds like the same things happen in this company, and yay!
Well, good. You know, they fucked around and found out. You know, people tried to tell them, but yeah, they didn't listen, and now here we are.
Yeah, they brought this shit out, and it was like,
oh yeah, there's powerful niggardry at work here.
Yep.
It was reported back in November that Dragon Age The Veilguard would not receive any DLC or expansions, and the company had already shifted focus to Mass Effect. So it seems they didn't have much confidence in their own game to begin with, now does it?
Nope.
George Yang at Rolling Stone reported on Halloween, with Dragon Age The Veilguard now complete, BioWare confirms that there are currently no plans for downloadable expansions. He added the developers' full attention has now shifted entirely to the next Mass Effect as their current project, which there have already been murmurings of it being woke as well.
Oh, they're not gonna learn anything.
I tried some of the previous Dragon Age games. I could never fully get into them. I am not familiar with Mass Effect, but I do know what's being said about it. Blow it, bitch, blow it.
I don't even want to know, because this company, this is what I'm talking about. The gamers try to tell the developers what works for them and what doesn't, and they don't listen, and they make a crap game, and then they wonder why it fails, and then they're going bankrupt. Stuff like this is why gamers are playing older games and not buying any new AAA games.
Well, it's not just that way in gaming. Of course, gaming is the primary focus here. But it's not just that way in gaming, it's that way in Hollywood. I would imagine there's places is that way in music now. I mean, besides the whole industry being rap music now, because I think they got brainwashed with the shit because they didn't hear enough other stuff. I mean, there's plenty of rock and roll, heavy metal, this, that, whatever kind of bands coming out, whatever you're into, country, if it be that. But they're not promoting it. They're not putting it front first. They're not putting it forward to out to the people. They're going, oh, they like the rap, give them more of the rap.
Yeah.
So it's all they know anymore. And you know, and the same, it's much the same thing that's happening in the game industry. And I guess they, you know, they have their meetings and everybody's at the table and it's like, studies show this sells and this is what they want. And everybody that says different is part of an organized hate campaign. They're trolls and bigots.
Yeah. And then they start crying when their shit fails and
worse.
all that.
What's worse is all the new blood they get in. They, you know, they get them fresh out of college, more or less, and they've had this stuff drilled into their heads. You know, the younger generation, most of them. You know, they're non-binary, they're tranny, they're this, they're that, and they're like, I want to get into game design, having never really played games. And then they get picked right up by these companies, and they're like, we know what gamers want.
Yeah, they don't know anything. They think they do, but they don't. And what's worse is they won't listen to the people that do know. You know, they won't listen to the gamers, and then their games fail, and they're sitting there scratching their head wondering what happened. Well, if they would have listened in the first place, they would know. You know?
Yeah, now change gears a little bit here. I have a story on something else. Facebook ban. Starting on January 19th, 2025, Facebook's internal policy makers decided that Linux is malware.
What?
Yeah, it gets weirder. And labeled groups associated with Linux as being cybersecurity threats. Any post mentioning DistroWatch and multiple groups associated with Linux and Linux discussions have either been shut down or had their post removed. We've been hearing all week from readers who say they can no longer post about Linux on Facebook or share links to DistroWatch. Some people have reported their accounts have been locked or limited for posting about Linux. The sad irony here is that Facebook runs much of its infrastructure on Linux, and yes, that is true, and often posts job ads looking for Linux developers, also true. Unfortunately, there isn't anything we can do about this apart from advising people to get their Linux-related information from other sources other than Facebook. I've tried to appeal the ban, but was told the next day that Linux-related material is staying on the cybersecurity filter. My Facebook account was also locked for my efforts.
Oh.
You know, damn near the whole internet runs on Linux. A good many smartphones, Android, Chrome OS. I don't, you know, there's so many things that run Linux. I can throw a rock and hit a piece of machinery that runs some sort of Linux. This is beyond retarded.
Okay, why do they have such a hatred? Why are they treating Linux users like hate groups and stuff? Why?
This happens every once in a while, and most companies have a hatred for Linux. I think they deem it like, oh, it's free and open source, therefore it's inferior, or they're anti-capitalist, or I'm imagining it's something along those lines. Maybe they're thinking, well, they're open source and free, and eventually they'll knock us out of business. I've seen companies deny support for running games on Linux, even though they're perfectly capable of running, which is every instance. Actually, there's no Windows made game that can also run on Linux unless the company does something to block it. And you go on forums, people have a general hatred of Linux. As the Steam Deck was coming out, I was in regular arguments, people going, Linux can't run games. And I was banned from forums for saying it could, for saying it does, for saying, hey, I'm on it right now and I'll run games every day.
Yeah.
And I was banned.
Oh, that's bullshit.
And every once in a while, a government agency or even a president will go, this is for hackers and we can't allow it. And that blows over, but then it rolls back around every once in a while. There's also this misnomer, misinformation, however you want to phrase it, that Linux is a hacker operating system, which it has a lot of tool sets, a lot of things you can do on it, but you could hack somebody from any operating system technically.
Well, doesn't a lot of the government entities run on Linux?
Oh, you could say they all do. Virtually all of them do.
That's
but
what I
they're
thought.
they're unaware of this. I mean, think back to the days where the government described the internet as a series of tubes.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
These are the people we're dealing with. These are the kind of people we're dealing with.
Internet is a series of tubes.
You have people that might own and play a Steam Deck daily that goes, Linux can't run games. And it's like, you dumbass. What do you think you're using? And they're like, Steam OS? You dumbass.
Yeah, it's Linux.
Yeah, and they're showing proof of what Facebook is doing here. Now, I don't know what's wrong with people. I do find too often people are too quick to go, that's socialism, that's communist. And a good amount of time they're talking out their ass. And, my own personal take is, yeah, there's forms of socialism and forms of communists that are absolutely pure evil. But there are forms of it that we rely on every day that help society function, period.
Yeah. Well, I think any form of government, when taken to an extreme, can be a bad thing.
All you people out there that run the Chrome browser, it's based on open source. It's the Chromium project. It started out as KHTML, and they changed that engine eventually, but it's still an open source engine. If you have an Android phone, Linux, it runs a Linux kernel. If you draw money out of the bank,
yeah,
the examples are endless.
Yeah, but
it says we went through a similar experience when Twitter changed its name to X. Suddenly, accounts which had been reposting news from our RSS feeds were no longer able to share links. This sort of censorship is an unpleasant side effect of centralized communication platforms such as X, Facebook, Google Plus, and so on. I think it's biases. It comes down to that, and people fear something that's open source and free. I think it comes down to that, and a lot of times they see it as lesser quality because it's open, but it's like, you dumbass, most of what you rely on runs from it, was made by it, runs on it.
Yeah. People don't like what they cannot understand, and they want to go with the status quo, most people, because it's what they're fed. And I know that sounds harsh, but it's the truth. People will take whatever they're given once they get used to it because they don't want to do anything different.
Okay, I think we're at the end now.
Okay.
Yeah, once again, one day I hope to get monetized. So I don't care how you watch it, but just do me a favor and watch a lot of my stuff. There is a donation link. Of course, that's purely optional. When you're surfing around looking for something to watch.
Me! Just me! Love me!
Oh God, that poor girl. But yeah, we had a lot of fun doing the stream. Aren't you on
Yeah, I'm on reality based 3 times a week.
Yeah. And when are we gonna do our next stream? Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday. I mean, I'm always thinking about changing up the days and time frames, but right now, for now, it's Sundays at 11 p.m. Central and Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Central. And if you don't watch my stuff and subscribe and hopefully donate, but that's up to you. Well, then.
You know what's crazy? You actually get no bitches. Yeah, you get no bitches.
You get no bitches. Oh my goodness. That's funny.
Okay. But we are out. I'll keep bringing the noise. I hope you keep bringing the noise as well. And I hope you will bring it with me.
Everybody bring the noise with us. That's the thing. Everybody can come.
Bring the fucking noise. I mean, we need to pollute this shit because if we don't do it, who will?
That's true.
Okay,
Well,
and thanks to everyone that showed up. Thanks to everyone that commented and anyone that subscribed. Thanks to everyone who participated. I am glad. I am grateful. But that's all for now.
bye, everybody.
Your feelings can fuck off, you non-binary bitch. Telling everyone we're wrong while you sexualize kids. Keep your pronouns in your pants. This ain't the time or place. Unless you think you can dance, I'll punch that confused face.